What's going on, guys? Today we are talking about how you can get instant open house sign-in notifications and send text messages and follow-up emails to your guests immediately. As you could probably tell by the title of the video and what's on screen here. So to get started, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a SignSnapHome.com account, which is free for 14 days. You're going to need an n8n account, which is free or paid depending on how you have it set up. You can self-host this, you can run it in the cloud, and if you're a customer of SignSnapHome, I can walk you through a few different options of how you set this up. Otherwise, there's going to be a ton of videos online guiding you through this. You're also going to need a Twilio account if you want to send SMS or text messages to your guests. Otherwise, an email account is going to be fine. So, going right into it, we will go right over to SignSnapHome. So once you sign up for this, you will set up your sign-in sheets and do that stuff. I have a few other videos on this channel walking you through how you would do that. And you're going to go to your settings and your integrations. And you're going to notice this is a new feature if you've used SignSnapHome before, and now we have custom webhooks. Previously, you were only able to use Zapier webhooks. And now this works with things like n8n, make.com, Zapier still. So I've already set up an n8n test webhook here, as you can see. I'm going to delete this, so don't go ahead and try and send anything to it. And then you will go to n8n. I will provide you the template link for this template down in the description below. And you will open it up, and you're going to have to configure a few things right off the bat. The first one you're going to configure is your this webhook URL. This is where you're going to be sent the sign-in notifications. This could easily be swapped for something like Telegram, Slack, WhatsApp, anything like that. But I'm going to open up my Discord here, and I'm going to go to the server I want this to. And you're going to see here in the integrations, this is where you're going to create your webhooks. So I already have one made, so I'm just going to copy that URL and bring it back here and paste it in. So once you have that set up, then you're going to need to set up your Twilio, which if you have an account on there, you're just going to go ahead and go in and create your credential here, which if you've used n8n and Twilio before, that will already be there. I do not have Twilio, so I'm not going to set that up right now. And I also am not going to go through the email setup, but this is fairly simple. You just create a new credential, type in your email accounts. If you really need help finding the SMTP information, I can help you set that up. Also in here, you're going to see that this is where our messaging happens. So you want to set your footer and stuff. And if you want to add a custom message to your text message, you would do that as well. You're going to see this part right here. If Jason has agent no equals question mark. So based on how you've set up your SignSnapHome form, the default already has these questions there. But if you've changed anything, this might be affected. But what this is doing, it's saying if the user does not have an agent, we're going to send them this additional message here. So we'd love to help you find the perfect home. Our experienced team can provide exclusive listings and personalized service. And there's a few more details there. But if they did have an agent, we wouldn't send that part, and it would just say, thank you for visiting the property today. Feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. That way it's kind of compliant with fair housing and all of that stuff. But so what we're going to do here is I am just going to show you how this would work. So once you have all your webhooks and everything set up, you would go into your n8n and you're going to run the test URL. You could set this to production right away if you're confident in everything, but I always recommend setting up the test. So we're going to listen for the test event. And of course, I always forget it's going to fail. So I need to disconnect these two for now. And then I will connect it back in here in a second. So we're going to listen. It's listening now. Okay. And now I'm going to go return to SignSnapHome, and we are going to go to the dashboard and run through a quick sign-in just to show you how this would all work. So once you have your webhook URL and everything set up, you're going to do a sign-in just as you normally would for any other guest. I'm going to do no here just so we can see how this works. Enter my email, and what do I rate it? I'll give it a 4. Great, you've been signed in. And what we will notice here is if we go back to our Discord, it's not going to have the message just yet. Definitely jumped the gun there. I need to go to our n8n instance first, because now we're going to see that we got all of the data in the first webhook. So once this is already set up, it's going to automate and go through all this stuff. If you're familiar with n8n, you're going to know how this works. But for now, for those who aren't familiar, I'm just going to walk you through each step. So to see kind of how the process happens in the back end. So once we get all the data from the webhook, we have this parse and enrich data here, which has prep everything. So now you're going to see we got the name, it checked if it had a phone number, an email, and all of that stuff. And we're going to move on to the convert image to binary. What this is doing is it's converting that long base64 string into the required format for Discord and other sending platforms. So once all that's done and you've set up your webhook, we would be at the Discord notification step, and if we execute that, it's going to send everything. Okay, node executed successfully. And if we jump back to the Discord, we will now see that we have a new lead, the name, where they visited from, do they have an agent, what they rated the house, their email, the visit time, the phone number. And this preview is loading a little slow. I've noticed it's sometimes buggy on my desktop, but as you can see, this one loads right here, takes the photo of the guest, and this works on mobile. So that way, if you're walking around the house with another guest and somebody signs in at the front before you were there, you're going to get a notification to your phone right away. Going back into n8n here, we will go over to the has phone number. So what this does, it's going to check and see if they have a phone number, and it's going to pull in all the information needed. And then because we disconnected that last node, let me bring it back real quick. So we're going to go to the true there and the true there. So now we're going to see the preview message. So once you would set up your Twilio, this is what would be sending to the guest. Hi, Caden. Thank you for visiting 356 Main Lane today. Hope you enjoy the property. Feel free to reach out if you have any additional questions. Which I'm going to have to check that real quick, because that should have sent the complete message right there, which could just be part of the preview, but I will look into that. Either way, diving into the email section here, and all of these messages, like I said, can be customized. So we can go ahead and execute this, and of course it's not going to work because we don't have any data. But because it has that phone, it's never going to go through and route this email section, but you can see how this would automatically send you that text or email as soon as the guest signs in. This template will be available to download. I will have the link posted in the description below. And if you have any other questions setting this up or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. I'll drop the emails down below as well on how you can do that, or how you can easily put a support ticket in our Discord. Either way, this should really help you optimize those open house sign-in flows, and I'm going to be releasing more of these n8n workflows to automatically sync leads to your CRM and things like that in the future. Currently, most of our team has utilized Zapier for those types of things, but for those who just want the plug-and-play solutions, we are going to be working on these n8n templates. And like I mentioned previously, if you run into any issues setting these up, and you are a customer of SignSnapHome, or if you're really just wanting to test it out, shoot me an email, shoot us a message in the Discord, and we will try and help you out the best we can. But for now, enjoy using SignSnapHome and these new powerful n8n automations for your open house workflows. See